The following program is sponsored by Friends of Life Outreach International.
And I've made part of my life work to bring this hidden message, which all of us have read if we read the Bible, to a practical application. And for some people, and I say this understanding the weight of it, it might be the most important information they hear in their entire life for healing.
America's biblical health coach, Jordan Rubin, shares healing secrets from the Bible. Next on Life Today.
Beautiful about this.
Welcome to Life Today. I'm Randy Robinson. Tammy Trent is with me, and
Hello.
Jordan Rubin is back with us. We're talking about the Biblio Diet, and I really want you to tune into this one because this was probably the most surprising thing that I read in the book.
Yes, me too.
And I think for a lot of people, it could be exactly what you need to hear. So Jordan, welcome back.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
All right, we're going to talk about, we put a lot of things in the programs, and if anybody's missed the programs, I would invite you to go to lifetoday.org to see those programs. Talking about essential oils, talking about spices, meats, milk, honey, bread, all the good things. But there's something in the Biblio Diet that I did not expect. Tell me what we should know about what you call healing leaves.
I'd love to. It's one of my favorite topics, and I have to start with the story, the genesis of this revelation.
Okay.
Genesis, Revelation. And I say this with as much humility as I can, which sounds like zero humility whatsoever, so bear with me. So my wife, Nikki, who is a retired CPA, she is not a big visionary by trade, but in 2018, God spoke to her. She called it a God idea, and she heard herself asking God this question: is Jordan going to discover the cure for cancer and win a Nobel Prize? This was July of 2018. She didn't tell me for 6 months. She is a good secret keeper. Me, not so good. So in December of 2018, she told me what her God idea was after receiving it for the second time. And my reaction was one of frustration, because I had already overcome cancer, supernaturally and naturally. I was on this program, a whole program dedicated to that story. I spent 12 to 14 hours a day with certain dietary principles and detoxification and spiritual, emotional. And most people couldn't do what I did. They wouldn't be willing to do it. And after all, if there was a, quote, cure for cancer and it's a medicine, 99% of the world isn't insured and couldn't afford it. Or if the cure for cancer is an Amazonian rainforest herb, there's not enough for everybody to have. I had been working with people, coaching them through their cancer battles. I'd written a book on overcoming cancer. And the prospect of discovering a cure for cancer, it frustrated me because I thought to myself, as if I hadn't already been looking.
Yeah.
So I just filed it in my brain, and I was in my prayer closet or prayer sauna. I have an infrared sauna that I go in, and that's where I listen to the Bible on audio on an app. And the book of Ezekiel came through, and I knew a lot about Ezekiel, so I almost tuned out, started thinking about something else, and Ezekiel 47:12 comes out at me like an explosion. And Ezekiel 47:12 describes a future city with a sanctuary, water flowing from the sanctuary, forming a river, and on both sides of the river are trees. And the Bible says the fruit will be for food and the leaves for healing. I had heard this and read this hundreds of times, not just in the Bible, but in herbal books and nutrition books. This verse has been used to talk about herbs and spices or spinach or different leaves. But now that I had become a farmer, I knew that God was talking about leaves of fruit trees. And I became, I'll say, borderline obsessed with the study of fruit tree leaves, which not coincidentally hardly anyone talks about.
Right,
On the list of
yeah.
herbs and spices and supplements, they don't appear anywhere. And I studied the Hebrew word, which means terufah, or is terufah or terupah. It means healing, cure, or medicine. No mistranslation.
Okay.
But then the Bible goes on in Revelation 22:2, the last chapter of the last book, describing a similar picture, similar scene. There's a sanctuary, there's water, there's a river, and there's the tree of life, which makes a reappearance from the garden. And the Bible says, the leaves of the tree is for the healing of the nations. And what word is that in the Greek? Therapua or therapia. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Which means healing, medicine, or cure.
Wow.
I was sold. I knew this was it. And I began to study for the last 6 years 1,500 species of fruit trees. By the way, what's the definition of a tree? Does it have to be 30 feet tall? Is it a bush? Could it be a vine? And I've made part of my life work to bring this hidden message, which all of us have read if we read the Bible, to a practical application. And to cut a long story short, I began to procure fruit tree leaves that are normally thrown away,
Yeah.
Are they really?
put in garbage bags,
Yeah.
hauled off, and I began to make what you would call a tea out of it. I consume still today, every day, and I shared it with a few people as God led. And for the first time ever in writing, I share about this healing mystery from the Bible in the Biblio Diet. And it by far is the most powerful chapter in the book. And for
Yeah,
some people, and I say this understanding the weight of it, it might be the most important information they hear in their entire life for healing.
Okay, we tend, I know Revelation is very figurative language. I don't know about the Ezekiel passage, but I think most of us would have read that and thought there's some spiritual application.
Allegory, absolutely.
Right. But you're saying that you've literally taken these leaves from fruit trees and consumed them yourself and seen others consume them with positive results?
Absolutely. And there's a reason for it. When you study fruit tree leaves, and I'm talking about oranges, apples, and bananas, but also trees that bear fruit that you wouldn't think about, like oak and walnut, because in the Bible, nuts are fruits.
Yeah.
Seeds are fruits. So every tree, every perennial plant at once, it regrows, that produces an edible fruit is what I believe fits that definition. And some are growing in our backyard like mulberry.
Yes.
They're ornamental,
Yeah.
and we don't appreciate what they can do. Now, granted, there are some leaves that are poisonous. There's some berries that are poisonous.
Yeah.
Thank God today we have great information at our fingertips, like a plant finder app or an herb finder app. But many people have medicine in their backyard. My co-author, Dr. Josh Axe, says money doesn't grow on trees, but medicine does. And I have seen people overcome serious health conditions with the help of healing leaves, because fruit tree leaves have been studied to be anti-inflammatory. They lower high blood sugar. They are immune boosting, and they are anti-infective. They kill yeast and fungi. They kill viruses or deactivate them. They kill bacteria, and they are anti-parasitic. So when people are fighting an infection and they're using things like ivermectin or mebendazole or fenbendazole, fruit tree leaves have similar benefits to humans and animals. We even use fruit tree leaves to naturally deworm our cows, goats, and sheep on our farms. I wrote the Maker's Diet. I wrote the Great Physician's Prescription about foods and healing from the Bible, and I missed it. It's hidden in plain sight, and it's for somebody today, best
Jordan,
of all.
I think your book also tells us how we can, like
Yes.
how Tammy
Yes.
can collect every leaf and then put it, can you tell us a little bit about that? Like put it in a pot with water, boil it, set it aside, all the things that I could actually make my own mix and try this tea
That is
myself.
absolutely it. And people will say, but Jordan, which leaves? Is it
Right.
pomegranate?
Yeah.
Those are amazing. Is it fig? Certainly.
Right.
But wherever anybody lives, they have leaves. Now, Tammy, in your backyard, in any wooded area, there are a multitude of fruit tree leaves that you don't expect. There's things like pawpaw, which is a fruit we have never even heard of that's great for the brain. There's persimmon, there is eastern hackberry, there's high bush cranberry. These are fruit trees that don't produce fruit we find in a grocery store, but they're fruits nonetheless. And you nailed it. You take the leaves fresh, you put them in a pot with water, you can bring it to a boil, you can simmer it, and then you can consume it warm, or I store it later and consume it cold because I like to make a huge batch. We teach you how to do it. Anyone, anywhere can do this. In India, there are loads of fruit tree leaves, mango and moringa, which is called the tree of life in India. In Africa, there are loads of fruit tree leaves because God does what he says in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verses 26 through 31. He uses the weak things of the world, the despised things, to shame the strong. He put medicine in one of the most abundant resources on the planet. And when you cut leaves off trees, the tree gets healthier. The leaves grow back. And in fact, I'm so excited about this that in 2020 and 2021, we planted 600,000 fruit trees in hedgerows on our farms so we could harvest the leaves and the fruit would be the byproduct. And I've allowed people who have health challenges to come, bring a pair of scissors, bring a Ziploc bag, cut some leaves, and they can consume them fresh in boiling water, or you can put them in your oven at the lowest setting and dry them. You can get a dehydrator. And we have seen absolutely amazing results. At minimum, it's going to help your metabolism. At minimum, it's going to help blood sugar. We know 3 people recently who just use mulberry leaves and are either off or lowering their diabetes medication with type 2 diabetes. And one of them was a Native American medicine man who knew about this when he was a child and forgot, and he pulled mulberry leaves from his backyard, and now he is tremendously better. Listen, God is much more definitive and literal than we think. And when he says the leaves are for healing or for the healing of the nations, and the word is therapy, or the word is terupa or terufa, that means healing, cure, or medicine, why not give it a try? And what's beautiful is I don't tell anyone to change their course of care. If you're on conventional medicine, if you're undergoing integrative medicine, if you're not on any medicine at all, why not consume the only thing that the Bible calls healing or medicine twice in the Old Testament and in the New Testament? It's confirmed, and I'm getting chills right now because God has anointed us to share this message today, and I can't tell you what this is going to do for so many if they will actually take God at his word.
I would love to try it. I think it would be fun to try it. Now, how gross does it taste? Or how, I'm just thinking, crumbling leaves and boiling them. Can you add things in it to make it taste a little better? What does it really taste like?
It tastes almost exactly like tea, green or black tea. Now, I've given it to tea connoisseurs. I've given a blend. Now, it depends what leaves you blend, but most of them taste very similar to tea. Now, when someone's dealing with a health challenge, I tell them to drink it straight. Healing leaves contains compounds called polyphenols, which you're hearing more about, that help your cells become stronger, and they help boost longevity. And doesn't this make sense? Because in the beginning, the tree of life was what gave Adam and Eve immortality. But when man sinned, God said, no longer can you reach out and take hold of the tree of life until Revelation 22:2, when the tree of life reappears and the leaves are going to be for the healing of the nations. And someone might say, but Jordan, Revelation, it's talking about heaven. It can't be talking about heaven, because why would we need physical healing if this was heaven? This is for now. And I know what other people might be thinking. Jordan, I lost a loved one. I lost multiple loved ones. I've lost years of my life to a cancer diagnosis or to an autoimmune disease. Why now and why not then? I don't know the answer. But what I do know is that God is bringing us this message for such a time as this. And can you imagine if people replace green and black tea or even coffee, which all have benefits, with fruit tree leaves that God says are for healing. What a testimony to God's sovereignty, that he knew thousands of years ago what medical science can only scratch the surface with today.
2 quick questions. Are there any negative side effects we should be concerned about?
That is a great question. This is really considered a food or a beverage. I would say that if you are on medication for any reason, particularly for blood sugar control, you want to be monitored, because I believe that fruit tree leaves will lower your blood sugar, and your doctor working along with you may want to lower your insulin. I also believe that healing leaves will lower blood pressure. So similar caution if you're on a blood pressure medication, but keep in mind, healing leaves is as safe as drinking tea or coffee with no caffeine. So this isn't something that's risky. Now, keep in mind, there are leaves that are poisonous.
Yes.
I'm not saying go in your backyard and get any leaf.
Avoid those.
Oh, boy.
What I'm saying, though, is an edible fruit tree leaf is going to be safe based on the Bible, history, and science. And I'll give you one that's just wild. Oak trees are everywhere. They're one of the most abundant trees here. I have a huge one in my backyard. Acorns are nuts. The Native Americans consume them. They can be used for food. You usually have to prepare them a certain way. Oak leaves are so good for you that a phytonutrient called quercetin, which a lot of us learned about, especially during
COVID,
the pandemic, and it's good for allergies and the immune system. Quercetin was named after oak. Oak is called Quercus. That's the genus. And then there's all these Quercus alba, white oak.
Different types,
But Quercus or Quercus leaves contain quercetin, and these are growing in anyone's backyard who has a backyard. And there's actually studies that show oak tree leaves have a plethora of beneficial compounds, including antioxidants.
I think you answered my second question, which was, do I need to wait till I'm sick to do this?
No, I consume this every day, every morning, and I serve it for my family at night, along with another biblical sidekick, extra virgin olive oil with high levels of polyphenols. Now, I'll give you a little tip from the Biblio Diet. Extra virgin olive oil contains similar compounds than fruit tree leaves. So that potent polyphenolic powerhouse is what myself and my family consume every day. Now, when I have a child that is battling something, I give them more. When they have a muscle strain or sprain, I have some athletic kids, I give them more. So it depends on what you're dealing with, but why not consume what God calls therapy before you have symptoms? That's the ultimate way to be healed. I've heard it said once, and it's a great statement, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
You are so intentional about everything you do, everything you research, everything you study. And we might not be able to physically have Jordan in our lives every day, but he has done one even better for us. He's put it all in his brand new book, the Biblio Diet, and he's put it in his new study alongside his book, the study guide. We want to get this in your hands because you won't even be able to sort of package it all up today and remember it, but you will find it in his book every day that you will keep going back to. So we want to get this in your hands. If you want this for any amount that you're able to send, any gift today, to come alongside us in this beautiful mission, Water for Life, we want to send this to you for $75 or more. We're going to bundle it and give you the guide. You're going to want both. But let me first say this. There are many people around the world right now that desperately need access to clean water. Take a minute and watch this.
In so many places around the world, we see people that don't have water, any water to drink. If they do, they're scraping it from the worst places possible. But in some places, like where I'm at right now in Burundi, there seems to be an abundance of water, but the water is not safe.
Umwana rero namuze mu kwezi kwa kabiri, umwana yapfuye avyimvye, ndajana ku ivuriro. Umwana ndamugejeje ku ivuriro, umwana yishwe no kudahwa, ububyimba bwose, inda yari yaragiye, umutwe wari waragiye, amagejeje ku ivuriro, umwana caracikana.
It was this water source where she would come and get the water every day in these jugs and take back to her children. And it's this water source that took Stella's life.
tinze mvuga ati honda mwibuke hoho ni nkuko notuma Imana mvuga ati canga hano umusange nta kundi kuko ndiko ndamwibuka mba ndimo ndibuka agahinda kenshi rwose mu buzima bwanje.
I don't want Jacqueline to have to go through this again. She has other children. She's doing all that she can. Are we doing all that we can? We can change this. We have the power. It's within our power to give them clean drinking water so that she doesn't get to the point where she wants to die. That's why it's critical that we do something right now. You and I can do something. We can come in and we can put a well in this village and they will have clean water. And there are so many other villages just like this, so many other mothers that are experiencing the same pain that Jacqueline is feeling. We want you to join us in reaching around the world to places like this and giving them clean, pure drinking water. Will you do that? Will you give life? Will you give water for life? When you do, you will be changing the lives of mothers like Jacqueline all over the world. Do it today. It's hard to sit there with a mother who's lost a child to dirty water when you know the solution is so simple. And you know it's within our power to go in there and drill a water well where they can have the clean drinking water. And what a blessing it is to see them drinking that clean water. But you know, sometimes the thing that we know needs to be done is a thing we take for granted. So I hope you'll pause for just a moment as we're talking about your health and improving your health despite food everywhere. You know, we don't always eat the best things. Well, despite the water everywhere, it's the water that's killing them. So do something for yourself today as you do something for someone else. Support Water for Life and request Jordan Rubin's materials on the Biblio Diet. Request with any gift the Biblio Diet book, or with a gift of $75 or more, get the bundle. It will really help take you in depth. And your gift of $1,200 or more, we'd love to send you the Good Shepherd Bronze. You're helping someone and helping yourself at the same time. And I think God blesses it, Tammy, when we reach beyond ourselves.
He sure does.
And yet when we take responsibility for
Yes,
ourselves.
he sure does.
So what a blessing.
What a blessing to bring hope to somebody, Randy.
yeah.
When I watch Jacqueline and I think about her little girl Stella,
Yeah.
and how she lost her baby, and how she said, I feel like I want to die too. Like, I understand deep loss. I know the pain that it brings. And I remember the feeling too of like, it hurts so much. I just want to die too. I just want to be gone. I don't want to hurt like this anymore. And so here's the hope for Jacqueline today, and many mothers like her that have lost a child. Can't change that. Can't change that right now. But we can change the future for her. We can change the future for every child that is struggling right now. And that is the hope. When they feel like they want to die and not face it again, we can offer them hope so that they have the strength to face another day, because they know that they have at least clean water that will give them life. It will produce life. They will begin to thrive. It will give them hope as they look at the next child they have and the next, to know that they are not going to face the same devastating death that maybe their brother or sister faced.
Yeah.
So Randy, the very thing that you're saying, that we can bring hope, and it is so practical and it is so easy, and it doesn't take that much to do it today.
And you know, I like the fact that it kind of parallels what we're doing on these programs, where we're looking to the Bible to find out how to give life to ourselves, how to eat, how to have a Biblio diet. When we go into these areas and we drill that water well, we say, yes, there are people who care about you. We want to give you clean drinking water. We do it in the name of Jesus, so we express the Bible. So this combination of biblical truth and blessing and helping yourself and helping others, it all culminates into this beautiful outreach. And I want everyone who's watching right now to go online or go to the phone, make the best gift you can and know that you're blessing somebody, but get these materials and start to put them into practice. You will bless yourself. So yes to health. Yes. Yes to life. Yes. Yes to Biblio anything.
Yes, exactly.
And yes, hopefully to you responding today. Do it now.
Every day, thousands of lives are lost to waterborne diseases, but you can make a difference by helping provide fresh, clean water for life. With a gift of $48, you can help provide clean water for 10 children. A gift of $144 will help provide life-giving water for 30 people for a lifetime. With a gift of any amount, we'll send you Jordan Rubin's The Biblio Diet. Based on the ancient wisdom of the Bible and confirmed by modern science, this easy-to-follow plan provides healing secrets to help you live longer, master metabolism, reduce pain, fight depression, and conquer cancer. With your gift of $75 or more, you may request the Biblio Diet Bundle, featuring the book and its transformative study guide with weekly readings, prayers, places to journal, and links to video teachings to help you along your journey to greater health.
As you provide clean water for life, you can help heal those suffering from illness due to contaminated drinking water. You can bring life to others, as well as find lasting health and longevity with the Biblio Diet.
Finally, please consider a gift of $1,200 to help provide water for 250 people, or a gift of $4,800 to help sponsor a complete well. And be sure to request our new bronze sculpture, the Good Shepherd. Please call, write, or make your gift online to provide life-giving water to people in need.
Hope you're going online and giving the best gift that you can give. It makes such a difference in the lives of so many. Remember, whatever gift you can give today, we're going to send you the Biblio Diet for $75 and more. We're going to bundle it and send you the study guide. Randy, this was so good.
So good and so helpful.
Yes.
And you know, my parents are also very interested in this. I hope you'll catch the programs with them. If you miss any of the programs with Jordan Rubin, they're all online at Life Today. Jordan, thank you so much. Thank you for your insight, your time, and just the blessing of life.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for being here. Come back. We'll see you again next time here on Life Today.
Visit lifetoday.org. Dive into your favorite Life Today programs. Visit lifetoday.org and experience the best of life.
Life Today is made possible by the supporters of Life Outreach International. Your gift will be used exclusively for the exempt purposes of life. The ministry features specific outreaches as examples of the programs it supports and conducts. Gifts are considered to be without restriction as to use unless explicitly stipulated by the donor. The ministry is a member of the ECFA.